What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So for this horror news update, I don't know what's going on. I think I have a feeling when we go through the details of this article, as you see from the headline here, Bad Summer People. Sarah Michelle Gellar to star in and produce TV series adaptation of Emma Rosenblum novel. That right there, and this was posted a few days ago. I held off on doing a video on this. One, to see if any other of my fellow content creators across the horror space would talk about this, cover this. And I also want to see if there were any other updates that were going to come out about this, and none have. So that's why I've waited a few days before doing a video on it and to give my thoughts on this, specifically about this headline. And you'll understand why here, I'm sure, here in a moment, because we all know I did a video not too long ago, follow-up video on the rebooted or the resurgence of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And when we finally got word that that was actually going to happen, soon after, Sarah Michelle Gellar came out and I have the articles in that video where we show when they were first reporting this, that it said she was going to star in the resurgence of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then not too much later on, I think within days or maybe a week or so, we had another article come out where it was now reported she will guest star. And then within that article, they mentioned on some of the things that were happening, how the writing room was already put together, they were moving forward, and they had already started casting, and they had just a placeholder name for the character that was going to be actually starring in the series that would be the lead. And it was not going to be Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I made my opinion very clear that I think that was, in my opinion, a bit of a bait and switch, where they came out, they were really pumping up the bringing Buffy the Vampire Slayer series back. Everyone wanted her to return. And then next thing you know, she came out and was confirming it. They were coming out and confirming it, saying, she said, I am returning. They said she's starring in it. And then not too much later on, oh, she's just guest starring. After all the fans got hyped up. Now, I've said this before and I'll say this again. I'm not a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I never was a fan of the series. I never got into the series, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate the fact that there is a hardcore fan base that loves that series. And when they heard about the show coming back and the possibility of her returning, and then when those first reports were all coming out saying that she was coming back to star in it, everyone was excited. But no one really reacted to the fact that it then came out and said, no, she's just going to guest star. No one ever came back out and said, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about? She's only going to guest star. It seemed like everyone just got glossy-eyed and didn't see that update to what's going to be happening. So I think where I'm going at with this is that this article headline leads me to believe further that she is only going to be a guest star appearance, and this is part of the reason why, is because of this here. So let's scroll down a bit more and see what this tells us. A couple months ago, it was announced that Sarah Michelle Gellar is attached to star in a revival of. So right there, this is already an incorrect statement. Is attached to star in a revival of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She's not going to star into it. We already know that's not the case. We already know she's only guest starring. So that's already a misinterpretation. But while that project makes its way through development, Deadline has revealed that Gellar is also on board to star in and executive produce a TV series adaptation of Emma Rosenblum novel Bad Summer People. Cara DePolo is set to write and executive produce the show. Linden Productions and A+E Studios are developing the project internally before taking it out to buyers. Also executive producing are Riva Marker and Deanna Barelli, with Linden Productions plus Joanne Colonna. Deadline notes that Bad Summer People has drawn comparisons to White Lotus. The White Lotus, Rosenblum's novel, is set in the idyllic fictional town of Salcombe, Fire Island, and follows a sequence of life-shattering events when a body is discovered off the side of the boardwalk. The series will be centered on frenemies and master manipulators Jen Weinstein and Lauren Parker. They, alongside their husbands' childhood friends, Sam and Jason, have summered together on the island for years, but this summer everything will come to a head as lifelong grudges and secrets are unearthed. Tannen, okay, so we just get into a bit more quotes here. Okay, so in addition to Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Bad Summer People, Gellar has a reoccurring role on the Dexter prequel series, Dexter Original Sin, and Deadline has confirmed that she's expected to remain on that show for the recently announced second season. So she'll be working on multiple shows at once, and Sarah Michelle Gellar being a regular presence on our TV screens is always a good thing. And then that's where the article ends off. So this right here, in my mind, confirms as well she's going to be the leading, producing, very heavily involved in Bad Summer People, which now for me solidifies even more so why she's just a guest appearance in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She's not going to star in it. She probably will pop up here and there as a helper or someone that the new lead or leads run to when things get tough or they need advice, things of that nature. Very much like she was in Dexter Original Sin. If you haven't seen that, go watch it and you'll notice she's not in it all that much. And the parts that she is in, it's literally 2-3 minutes. Sometimes even less than that. There are some scenes where she's literally there for 30 to 45 seconds, has a couple quick lines, and then walks away. And then you don't see her for the rest of the episode. And there are a couple episodes she's not there, period. And I think if you look at Dexter Original Sin and how much screen time she has, I can bet that's about as much screen time as she's going to have in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Maybe a little bit more because she'll serve as more of a mentor, giving them direction for a couple minutes, and then the rest of the 46 minutes of the show will continue. And she'll just have that 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it. Because if she's going to be executive producing, starring, and being so heavily involved in this particular TV series, then these two other ones that are, I guess, more established where she's not the focal point, then she's just going to guest star. So I bring all this up again just to provide, in my opinion, further confirmation she's not starring in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which again, looking at the first line of this article, I don't think that's a true representation of what's happening. She's not attached to star in the revival. I think she's just attached to be a guest star and nothing more than that. Very close, very similar to what we saw her as in Dexter Original Sin. So that's going to do it for this horror news update. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what's truly going on with Sarah Michelle Gellar's character for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Do you agree with me? Based on all the facts that we have here on the table, I don't see her having a big role in that show. So I think people need to start setting their expectations now, that don't expect to see a lot of her, expect to see new leads for that series, and they're really just going by using the name, in my opinion. And it might be happening in the same universe. Obviously, it will be happening. There's going to be a time jump, but otherwise, you're getting new characters and new story, things of that nature. So I think, again, for your hardcore fans, start preparing yourselves. She's not going to be the lead you're all expecting her to be. So drop a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps us out a lot. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.